What is up, y'all? Within today's video, we're going to be talking about Jeffree Star, which is kind of crazy because recently I just made a video about Jeffree Star and Glamzilla. What we're going to be talking about is Jeffree Star and Michaela within today's video. I almost feel like he is going about things to like throw a little bit of shade at these like new up and coming like TikTokers, because I personally think, this is just my opinion, my speculation, I think that he wants to like gain the title of like the #1 watched TikToker in the beauty space on TikTok, obviously. And I just feel like obviously he has to throw a little bit of shade, because I was like, oh, he threw shade before at Michaela a few times, and then obviously recently he just threw shade at Glamzilla, and I feel like these are people who are obviously pretty big on TikTok. And I feel like what's next, like maybe he's gonna throw shade at Meredith Duxbury, because I feel like she's also one of the highest viewed beauty TikTokers out there. And yo, I just want to say though, I feel like Jeffree Star is like really gaining a lot of traction on TikTok. And as I said in my previous video that I actually uploaded within the past week, I was like, you know what's so crazy is I feel like for the longest time he wasn't really talked about, and then now all of a sudden everyone is loving him on TikTok. And I'm just really wondering, at what point is he gonna get things really messed up? Because y'all know him, and I'm sorry, I'm not even being negative, I'm just keeping it real. I feel like when things are going really good for him and he's like laying low, he gets in some type of controversy and something and something pops up. And I just really am wondering like, when's that gonna happen? I feel like low key he's trying to stir the pot a little bit, obviously, by throwing a little bit of shade out there towards like the new up and coming beauty influencers on TikTok. And I do want to say this, something we're going to be talking about and reading a lot of comments from one of his videos that slipped underneath my radar. Actually, this was posted back in February and I barely saw it. So I really wanted to talk about this because there are so many people who are like, you know what, I just don't like the beauty influencers on TikTok, which I do have to say, I find to be like a little weird, because obviously, let's just go ahead and keep it real here on YouTube. No one's really getting views anymore like that. Like, you don't see people in the beauty space getting millions of views, as to where back in the day, let's say like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, people were getting millions of views here on YouTube. So that's why I'm like, it's very funny to like see so many comments of people saying that they don't like, you know, beauty TikTokers, because they feel like they're very fake, they're very animated, they sell their souls for a penny, and then obviously they're the most viewed over there. So clearly a lot of people do like the beauty TikTokers. I do want to say this though about the beauty TikTokers, in my personal opinion. This is just me. I feel like a lot of them will just take any single sponsorship. They want to say everything politically correct for a brand to like them. If you guys have seen my reviews before, and honestly, I'm gonna keep it so real with you guys, I don't think I've ever even opened up and told you guys about this. My mom used to watch my videos before, and say for example, if I didn't like a product, I'd be like, this shit is fucking garbage, I literally hate it. Like, that's just me. That's how I would be to a friend, because if I spent money on a product, I literally am going to be upset that I didn't like it. Do you know what I mean? Especially when it's an overhyped product. And my mom would tell me, don't you think that's not good for you to do? Like, if you're talking about a product like that, can't you just simply say, oh, it didn't work on me? And that's so, y'all, if you knew my mom is cray cray. Like, she literally, she doesn't even know how to talk normal. Everything out of her mouth is just like outlandish and crazy. And like, y'all, if you guys see me on my podcast, y'all know how I am. And obviously I get it from my mom. So it's really crazy for her to think that or say that. But obviously she was saying that because she was like, you want to get on the brand's good side, so that way they can send you PR, and that way they can like sponsor you and pay you, you know? And I was like, I don't care. Like, I literally don't care. I know at the end of the day, obviously, when you're putting so much time and effort into something, you obviously are going to want to reap the benefits, and you are going to want a brand to work with you. But I feel like that's going to happen naturally. Do you know what I mean? Like me, I have always talked nothing but positive stuff about MAC Cosmetics, right? So say, for example, if I took a sponsorship from MAC, it would make perfect sense, you know? As to where I feel like a lot of people here on TikTok, y'all, they just want to like say everything good about every single brand out there. There is a couple influencers that always pop up on my TikToker on TikTok, where I'm just like, okay, every single product they love, and they're like 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10. I'm like, where is one single product that you don't like? Like, to me, it just comes across fake. There is no way in hell that a person is going to like every single product that they try on. I just think that is unrealistic. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like obviously everyone wants to stay in the brand's good graces. Honestly, too, another reason why I think people are so like, oh, let me be super politically correct, is because they're hoping to get that sponsorship to where they click on their video to where a brand can reach out to them and turn their TikTok into an ad. And then you guys will see it as a commercial on TikTok. So I think that's another reason why people really try to stay in brands' good graces. And Jeffree Star is obviously like, I ain't gonna do that shit. If I don't like this product, I don't like the product, and that is just it. And I feel like that's really refreshing. Do you know what I mean? But also at the same time too, I want to know if there is like any other influencers out there on TikTok specifically that are as real and transparent, and who aren't like, you know, kissing every single brand's ass. Because let me know, y'all, because I am so curious to see that, because I do feel like a lot of the big time people out there are just, you know, I don't know, I feel like they're a little bit of ass kissers, but obviously it's very hard because they get like massive amounts of money. Speaking of massive amounts of money, oh my gosh, how could I not tell you guys this? I just saw a TikTok last night of this girl who was breaking down Mikayla Nogueria's monthly income just from TikTok, not including sponsorships, just from TikTok's creator fund, which is like their little beta program to where you get like views, X amount of views, you have an RPM kind of like here on YouTube. And she did the math on everything for her, and in the month of January alone, she had it estimated that Mikayla Nogueria made $210,000 just from TikTok. Just from TikTok. That is not including her brand deals. And if you guys follow Mikayla on TikTok, you guys would know that she takes so many brand deals. So I was like mind blown that she is getting paid that much just from TikTok. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, she's probably literally making like what, like, you know, a few million per year just from TikTok, not to mention from her actual sponsorships, which, by the way, I've heard before that she gets paid like $250,000. Before we jump into this though, and we go over the comments on Jeffree Star's TikTok calling out, well, not calling out, but throwing a little bit of shade at Mikayla Nogueria, I do want to address something because I recently have been paying attention to the comments, y'all, and I know a lot of you guys are like, what's up with Buttery Biscuit? How come you're not saying Buttery Biscuit anymore? I want to let you guys know that honestly, okay, in case you guys didn't even know, I think I explained this before on live and then just one day it stuck. I always used to call my friends biscuits. Like, I'd be like, hey, what's up, biscuit? Like, literally, that's just what I would do. And I feel like I have not done that in years. And then I found myself just doing it for YouTube. So I was just kind of like, okay, like, I don't really like say that anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I felt like in my personal life, I'm like, I never say biscuit anymore. So it's kind of like, you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm just keeping it real with you guys. That's why I haven't said it. I honestly didn't think so many people to like notice. I saw somebody commenting on there. So like, what happened? I'm not a biscuit anymore. I'm like, y'all will forever be biscuits. It's just the thing is I just don't say it anymore. So I low-key felt a little bit fake to always say it. Do you know what I mean? And on top of that too, I just felt like it became like robotic of me to do. And I was like, you know what? Ever since I started this podcast, I feel brand new, refreshed. If you guys have watched my podcast, you guys will know that I literally don't hold back. Whatever is on my mind comes out my mouth, and that's just what it is. And I feel like here for the longest time on this main channel, I have become so filtered down that I'm like, I don't want to do that anymore. And I know this sounds really weird, but me starting off the video by saying, you know, what's up, little biscuit, or whatever, it just was like so repetitive that it became robotic. And I was like, I feel fake doing it, if I'm keeping it real with you guys. So that's the reason why I stopped saying that. I did just want to address that. I literally didn't even think you guys cared. So I think it's really cute that you guys care. But anyways, y'all, let me shut up. Speaking of the podcast too, by the way, make sure you guys go check it out. It'll be linked down below. Let's go ahead and get into the video. Before we actually like read this TikTok from Jeffree Star, I do want to get your guys' thoughts about Mikayla, because I find this to be, I don't know why, for some reason, I feel like I'm bipolar when it comes to Mikayla, because for some reason, I find her entertaining. Like, I actually like watching her TikToks. I really do. Like, when they pop up on my For You page, I pretty much watch them, only because I feel like she is just, like, she's a character. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like she's entertaining. Do I think she's fake? Yes. Do I think that she obviously lies for money? Yes. Obviously, you guys know that I've done a video before. Literally, y'all, I went through all of the times that she got caught lying, and I put them all into one video here on YouTube. And I was like, damn, homegirl has lied a lot to make some money. And I've openly said, and you guys know this, if I had a company offering me the amount of money that she allegedly gets paid, it would be hard for me to not lie to, just straight up. But I do have to say this though, that way you guys have a clear understanding about this. This is coming from a broke person, you know what I mean? So obviously if a company came to me and had like $100,000, I'm gonna be like, oh shit, that money would be life-changing to me. But when you're somebody of, you know, Mikayla's stature, who has that many millions of followers and millions of views, and you're making that much money just from TikTok's creator fund, you don't need to lie. Like, you can work with any company that you want to. If she, say, for example, like loved Huda Beauty, I'm sure she can reach out to Huda Beauty and say, hey, like, I really want to do a sponsored post. I really want to collab with you. Are you guys, you know, having it in your budget to afford me? Whatever, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, 9 times out of 10, she's probably going to get what she wants, because a lot of these brands want to work with her. Because as soon as she talks about a product, there is literally thousands of other people on TikTok that will review a product just because she reviewed it. And then it's just getting more views and views and views. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, when it comes down to her, I feel like she should have a little bit more integrity than, say, for example, some, you know, regular average person. Because honestly, y'all, just keep it real with you guys, if I were to ever be offered that amount of money, I'd be like, oh, how am I gonna turn it down? Do you know what I mean? But coming from her, I'm like, girl. Anyways, I want to talk about this TikTok that slipped underneath the rug, y'all, that actually Jeffree Star had posted in December. And it says, when you decline every brand deal to give honest reviews, but millions of people still believe a fraud. Now, obviously, everybody's like, oh, hold on. This obviously is directed towards somebody here on TikTok. And in my personal opinion, y'all know Jeffree Star. Jeffree Star likes to stir the pot. There is so many comments that obviously are thinking that this is about Mikayla. Jeffree Star has not been shy whatsoever to speak about Mikayla on TikTok, when he goes on to podcasts, when he's on live. live. Like, he has mentioned her numerous amounts of times, if you guys don't recall. When she was having her whole Lashgate drama, he actually went onto a podcast and said that he reached out to her because he wanted her to fly out to Wyoming to review the mascara, and she just did not respond back. But she did respond to him before, saying like, I love you, I followed you forever, like, I love your products, I used to use your products. And it's so funny, obviously, because she's never used his products on a TikTok, to my understanding. I haven't seen them, but I think for obvious reasons, because she doesn't want to get any backlash. People are going to be like, why are you supporting Jeffree? You know what I mean? So I feel like he's just like, let me throw shade at her. Also, what do you guys think about that? Like, say for example, if Mikayla is in the DMs to Jeffree Star saying, I love you, I've used your products several times, I love your products, but then not using them, do you find that to be a little bit fake? Because I feel like, use them then, you know what I mean? Like, who cares? Like, if cancel culture gets you, whatever, girl. Like, I feel like everyone's gonna have a cancellation, and if you like these products, you like these products, and it is what it is. Anyways, these are just some of the comments right here, y'all, but there is 5,913 if you guys are curious to go take a look. It says, yes, calling out Mikayla, love it, and in Jeffree Star we trust. That has 38.3 thousand likes on it. And then this other person, I literally blocked Mikayla and I keep getting ads and I push no interest every time and they still won't go away. Another person said right here about Bretman Rock, same reason Bretman didn't want to be part of the beauty industry. In Jeffree, we trust. And that has 24.9 thousand likes. So as I said in my previous video where I was talking about Jeffree Star, I feel like a lot of people these days are really hyping up Jeffree Star. I feel like they are eating him up over there on TikTok only because I feel like he is a breath of fresh air when it comes down to reviews, because y'all know how it is. Everyone and their mom, especially on TikTok, like, it drives me like literally crazy on TikTok that every single thing is sponsored or may get commission. Everything is like an ad. I'm like, this is literally turning into QVC now. And I understand because obviously people have now witnessed how much money you can make from TikTok. But I'm like, damn, like, what happens to the authentic reviews? What happened to the realness? What happened to like connecting with the audience? You know what I mean? And I just feel like that's just no longer there. I do want to say this though, speaking about Bretman Rock, like, where has he been? Like, has he been doing things? Because I feel like I haven't seen him in forever. Moving on with the comments right here, Michaela and Glamzilla both only care about sponsors, PR sponsors brand deals, and this has 1,200 likes, obviously. Somebody else right here said brands should have a sticker they put on their product saying Jeffree Star approved, so I know what to buy. That has 79.3 thousand likes. And there was this other person actually on here that said, at this point, I see Jeffree opening a store like Sephora with his approved products. And I was like, hey, low-key, wouldn't that be like a really good idea? That would be a good concept that I feel like a lot of people would like. Now, there is one last thing that I want to touch on right here. I'm going to play a little bit of a TikTok from Mikayla Nogueria where she is talking about some of her cancellations and like what she has been through and how she has changed. And I'm just curious to know what you guys think. Also, can you guys please let me know what you think about her eyebrows? This is going to sound really, really fucked up, but I'm just keeping it real. Don't you think they look horrible? Like, I've never said that about Mikayla. I think that she does great makeup. I've said that so many times, but I'm like, whoa, what is up with these like super thick brows? Like, I don't know. I just feel like they look a little too much. But anyways, go ahead and check out this TikTok right here.
I feel like we are actually long overdue for a life update. If I may be so candid with you, this week is literally my 4-year anniversary of doing this as a career. The end of 2022 and the beginning half of 2023 was the absolute hardest time of my life. Like, I got, like, 519 happened, Mascara Gate happened, the stress of a plan and a wedding. Like, there was so much going on in my life that I was so mentally depressed, and my mental health and my eating disorder and just everything was spiraling out of control for me.
So since she brought up her drama, I was just curious to know, do you guys think that she will ever fess up to the Lashgate drama? I don't know if you guys remember recently I talked about Douse Mendoza. He's also a beauty TikToker, and he said that he collabed with Mikayla Nogueria, and he basically asked her straight up like, girl, you put a lash on, didn't you? And she's like, I swear I didn't, I swear I didn't. So I'm like, she's standing by that lie, and I'm like, why do I feel like I would have so much respect for her if she just came out and said I was wearing a lash? Then I feel like I would really, really like her. Do you know what I mean? If I'm being so honest with you guys, I actually think I would be a huge fan of hers if I didn't catch her in so many lies, and she lies about so many sponsorships, and she doesn't disclose so many sponsorships. Do you know what I mean? Because other than that, I think that she does definitely have a likable, relatable personality. Do you know what I mean? But obviously when it comes down into the beauty space, I'm kind of like, oh girl, you seem a little bit fake in my opinion. But anyways, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. What do you guys feel about Jeffree Star taking over on TikTok now? Also, what do you guys feel about him throwing a little bit of shade at Mikayla? Low-key, I feel like he should have just tagged her. Then I would have been like, damn. I feel like that's something that Jeffree would do. Y'all know that he is not scared whatsoever. But make sure you guys let me know your thoughts and opinions about everything. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, Girl Scout.